Close. Man, everything got loud. Like when I want to start my live show. Anyways. Wanted to do a quick live show. About to hit 5,000 subscribers. Probably the next week. Let me charge my phone. So I actually wanted to get some interaction from you guys to figure out, you know, I want the Patreon page to be a place where my Patreons get exclusive stuff. And we already have, you know, contests for just Patreon members and stuff like that. We're going to create a hangout group for the Patreons where all the Patreons and myself can literally interact, talk about the show, maybe give out video ideas or contest ideas. Give me 1 second. Hold on. Sorry, I had to break up a kid fight. Yeah, by the way, just in case y'all don't know my routine as far as school time, so my two daughters, they go to the same middle school. My son goes, well, one of my sons, he goes to elementary school, and another son goes to high school. So I stay in line for the elementary about 30 minutes. Then I head over to the middle school. That's another 30 minutes. Then it's another 15-minute drive to the high school. And then, so I'm leaving here by like 1:15, 1:30, and I don't get home until about, I don't know, 3:30. So that's my routine as far as picking up the kids. And when they're all together, sometimes a fight breaks out, and you gotta break it up. So that's what I just had to do. I heard some yelling, and they were about to go at it, and I had to go, break it. Well, I mean, they don't really, go at it, but you know what I'm talking about. When a 12-year-old and an 11-year-old and a 7-year-old are all in the same room, 2 girls, 1 boy, it gets nuts sometimes. American Football Network, congratulations for 400 subs. I didn't catch that. I do try to check out your channel. I am subbed to you, I know that for sure. But I'll try to check out as much of your content as I can. This has me, because of my schedule, you already know this by now, I put out 1 video, sometimes more, every day. So it's not, and those of you who already have a YouTube channel already know, it's not just getting in front of the camera and talking. I mean, you got to look up stuff, figure out what a good idea would be, and then, make sure you have all your thoughts together. Then you actually shoot it, and then you have to edit, which is probably the longest, and final step, promote it. So altogether, that takes up probably 6-7 hours of my day right there. That's on a slow day. But me and Joey, bringing Joey onto this show as a sponsor was probably the best decision I could have ever made. So anytime I get a chance, I'm going to give him a shout out. And he was over in 365. We're going to talk about a little bit of drama real quick. So he was over in 365, and there were some people in the comment section. I guess they had watched my live shows the past, I don't know, week or so. And in those live shows, now, if y'all watch live shows a lot, you already know that in those live shows, the creator, the person of that channel says, hey, if you want to support the channel, hit the super chat, here's my PayPal link, all that stuff. That's pretty much in every channel. I mean, that's how we make money over here. as far as on live shows. But in the past week, apparently, I didn't mean to, but apparently I rubbed a few people wrong by saying that I do this full time and that I quit my job and that, bills, they don't stop and it costs money to do. So him and one of those people that were not happy that I said that stuff, they basically said, yeah, I was over there, I've been a loyal subscriber, and he mentioned names. I've never heard of the names. I'm not going to repeat the names, but I've never heard of them, really. And I know my core. Pretty much all of you guys in here are my core. I know y'all by name, as far as in the chat section. So he mentioned the names that were, I was like, who is that? I don't even know who you're talking about. But we've been loyal golden blue dude subscribers for a year and a half, whatever, and now we're quitting because he said that. I'm like, okay, that makes sense. So because I made, and I haven't been doing that. I just this past week, y'all know me. I'm like silly and sporadic and in the moment type of person. I'm not trying to get on anybody's nerves, but if I do get on your nerves, it is what it is. But anyway, so me saying that got on their nerves. Oh, we're not watching Golden Blue Dude anymore because he said that, and he's out there begging for money. That's what they said. I'm out here begging for money because I made the comment that I quit my job and I do this full time, and I would appreciate any type of financial donation. That they said that was me begging for money, and I'm like, well, hold up. If that's the case, then isn't every YouTube channel that's able to be monetized begging for money? So I just thought it was pretty funny, and I'm really hoping that one of those people that was watching the other day and said that stuff, come on, let's talk about it. And I'm not here to like trash talk you and knock you down and stuff like that. But come on, you go to other platforms and you say you didn't say, I didn't see it in the comment section. You didn't say it to me. You go around about. You do the dance behind the doors and talk to other people. Oh, I'm not. I'm not going to be a part of that channel anymore. He's over there begging for money. Yeah. Say it to my face. Let's talk about it, all right? So I just thought it was pretty funny. And it was a bunch of names that I'm like, who is that? Because if it was people like guys that I see in my I'm like, well, maybe I did go a little bit too far or whatever. I'm not trying to please everybody. That's impossible. But at the same time, you don't want to, run your subscribers off. So that's why I just thought it was hilarious. People are so freaking fake. They are so fake, and it's kind of hilarious to me. It really is. It's unbelievable. And you can ask any person that's been doing YouTube for any amount of time, you find out how petty people are when you start your own channel, and especially when it starts growing. That's when you really start finding out how petty people are. So it comes with the territory. So anybody, here's my advice. Anybody that's thinking about doing a YouTube channel, number one, make sure it's about something that you really love. That's the first key. If you're gonna set out to do a YouTube channel, you better make sure that you really love it. I mean, really love it. Number two, it's going to come with the territory, especially if you have high hopes for your YouTube channel. You're thinking long term. You're wanting it to grow. You're going to want it to monetize. It's going to come. Drama's going to come. People are going to try to stir the pot. Blah 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 blah. Just say your piece. Don't. That's why I address stuff here on my channel. Come on. I'm not going to go around the back and, go to somebody else's channel. Hey, they said this about me and you said this about... No, that's how things get really crazy. long story short, they went roundabout, and I'm saying, come on. If you're in the comment section, come on. Let's talk about it anytime. I'm not worried about it. All right, let's do shout-outs real quick. Talkus Pit. By the way, Talkus Pit, I hope you realize how difficult it was for me to do that video earlier today, giving Pitt some credit. That was very, very difficult. I hope you realize that. But I did a video on my top 25 after bowl season. I know. The Texas Bowl is tonight between Kansas State and LSU. Yeah, that's not going to affect my polls. The national championship, that's between Georgia, Alabama, but that's 1 and 2. I did 3 through 25, and even though I hate Pitt, I had to give them some praise because they had a great season. They won the ACC 10-win season. Let's see, I have it written down. 11-win season, excuse me, with the bowl win, 11-win season. So I had to give credit where credit is due, but in August next year, or is it? It might be September. I get my months mixed up. Anyways, I'm coming to Heinz Field with Talkus Pitt. We have a bet going on for that game between the backyard brawl between West Virginia and Pitt. If something crazy happens and West Virginia somehow loses, I have to wear a Pitt jersey for one of my shows. I have to record it, all that stuff. Same amount of effort, not like minimize it. I have to do everything. Make it a quality video, except I'm wearing a Pitt jersey. But when West Virginia beats Pitt, he has to sing Country Roads, and I get to record it. Now, the funny thing is, right when I started this channel, so this is about 2 years ago, during the regular season, I went to a Texas-West Virginia game, and I paid a Texas fan, yes, I paid him $5, and he did a horns down. $5. That's all it took. $5. So, some people's price is low. That was only $5. Worth it. So now, I will get a Pitt fan to sing Country Roads. Anyways, back to the shout-outs. Talkus Pitt, he's actually a really good supporter, even though he's a Pitt fan. I actually get along with him. We have Trey BTV, Donald. Is that Lessiter? Donald Lessiter. I'm guessing. Correct me if I'm wrong. American Football Network. He just hit 400 subs. Congratulations. Scotty B, the Baylor King. Baylor. My gosh. They had a great season. Lewis Papp. Very loyal supporter right there. Tiger Cat. Hey, what's up? I went over to her live show the other day. She's returning the favor. I appreciate that. Let's see. Am I saying that right? TND? That's got to stand for something that I'm not realizing. TND. Anyways, the Real Grim Reefa. I like it. The Real Grim Reefa instead of Reaper. Uncle Lou in the house. Easy Money. Did I miss anybody? Don Lewis. I think I got everybody. Don Lewis. I got you, man. I got you. Anyways, so whenever I'm thinking about Patreon, of course I'm looking at other channels and seeing what they're doing, right? But you don't want to do exactly what they're doing. You take a little bit of that, kind of a little bit, and then a little bit of yourself, and create something really good. You don't want to copy someone. That just comes off cheap, and it is cheap. So I don't want to do that. Christopher McDavitt in the house. Jake Jr. Pitt equals poo. I agree with that. And my favorite phrase to say, and I will say it every day until my last breath, and that is, eat shit Pitt. And Talkus Pitt knows not to take it wrong. I hate his team. I don't hate him. That's another thing. A lot of people, they get personal as far as the hate goes. Like, for instance, the Pitt-West Virginia rivalry. I know a lot of Pitt fans they get personal with West Virginia fans, and West Virginia fans get personal with Pitt fans. That's stupid. You don't hate the person, you hate the team. So, that's one thing that's always blown my mind. But that's hilarious. Pitt equals poo. I'll have to remember that. I might actually do, like a sign whenever I go to the game. Pitt equals poo. I like it. That's good stuff right there. Need a drink of Pepsi. Hold on. So anyways, I wanted to ask you guys what y'all thought might be some good ideas as far as the direction we want to go with the Patreon page. We already have the contest, which did really well. Contests always do well. The drawing did good, but that wasn't for Patreon. That was for everybody. That was more of a super chat contest. So we're going to keep contests going, but I don't want Patreon to equal contest. That's too generic. So we're going to try to set up some hangout type of stuff where only the Patreons and myself can bounce stuff off of each other. Maybe talk about some video ideas. Like, I didn't really like that. I mean, I can't guarantee that I'm going to be like, yeah, I'm doing your idea, or no. At least I'll know what you're thinking. So different stuff like that. I know over on Lou's channel, he does watch parties. We'll do that as well. That's a great idea. So I might take that little bit from his idea. Let's see, what else? So we can do watch parties, hangouts, and definitely the contest, keep those going. So I think we have a good, special videos for your members. Exactly, I like it. So that's the schedule that I'm going to have to work out because of the schedule that I already have. Where I already do, live shows every day, I'm going to have to figure out an actual schedule to where I can do Patreon videos. And that's another thing. I actually have to start focusing on that as well. Figuring out how to do different stuff for that. Because I'm pretty sure, you can do live shows on the Patreon as well. So I need to figure out, how to get that set up, and we can do that as well. And separate call-in shows just for the Patreon members. I'm like, see, that's why I asked you guys, because I cannot think of everything. That's the one thing that I try to explain to everybody. I'm a one-person show. I really am. And Joey helps tremendously. Do not get me wrong. I'm talking about like production, shooting, editing, promoting, all that stuff. It's just me. So it's hard for me to think beyond the here and now, what I'm doing now, what you guys would want for the future. Now that we're getting bigger, I need to start doing that. So what I might do is I might have more of these scheduled. That way y'all know when it's up, because I know this was random. So I'm going to schedule more of these, and we can just make sure, we're going in the right direction. So, yeah, I like that. I'm liking the ideas that I'm seeing so far. And I think Uncle Lou did a great job with that idea, having straight-up watch parties. And the way he did it was he actually had matchups, and he had his members vote on those matchups, and whatever matchup won, that's what the watch party was going to be. So he would have them vote. The winner of the voting, he would schedule the watch party for that. That's a genius idea as well. I've just been... this past year has been my busiest year. We went from the beginning of... what was last year? 2021. The beginning of 2021, we had... hold on, let me think. Around 700 subscribers. Now we have almost 5,000. So that was definitely our biggest growth. So I need to start actually nailing some stuff down so we can stay consistent. All right, let's see who else. I see Jeff Webster, Go Tigers 504 says Go Tigers. Automan, and I already said Easy Money, but I'll say it again. Easy Money, he's a good subscriber. And me and my Alabama subscribers have been arguing recently because of the Georgia thing, and that that comes with it too. We know there's no hard feelings or anything like that. But the crap that I was mentioning earlier, names that I didn't even know about, going over to, and is it 365 Sports? Yeah, 365 Sports. That's a big platform. So there's usually around 200-300 people watching at a time, and going over to a bigger platform and trying to trash my name over nonsense because they're butthurt over words, not even offensive words, but just words that they twisted into their own context. That's stupid. Arguing about teams and talking trash back and forth between our teams and who we think is going to win the national championship and who we think is overrated or, rankings, all that stuff. I love all that stuff. But that nonsense, childish stuff that's stupid. So, for the most part, we have a pretty good base here. I see. Brownie Talk Sports Network says, GBD, I told you Minnesota would win by double digits. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. And I think I agreed with you on that. Except my final score was, what was it? 27-7. No. Yeah, 27-17. I think I had Minnesota winning 27-17. Or that might be the Alabama score. Anyway, I had Minnesota beating West Virginia by double digits as well. Automan says, that's the price you pay for having a sports drama channel. This is not a sports drama channel. That is for sure. Trash talking channel? Yes. Drama channel? No. Trash talk is fine, but delusional lies, etc., false accusations ain't. See? Exactly. So, but I went, after Joey brought that to my attention, I did go back and watch the live shows that he was talking about. And maybe I can word stuff differently so I'm not looking like a homeless guy with the channel asking for money and stuff like that. I can understand not wanting to come off like that. But the way they spun it, it was ridiculous. Crazy ridiculous. That phrase, rat poison, is being said a lot about Alabama right now, as far as people saying Georgia's going to win and Alabama, they don't have Mechie. Georgia's going to have a much better game plan. I did my Georgia-Alabama preview video yesterday, and it really did come to Georgia making mistakes. That's where that game went to. If you go back and watch that game, Georgia's defense, I don't know why. I don't know what happened. But for whatever reason, Georgia's defense, out of place and too much spacing. I mentioned in that video 7 pass plays over 20 yards. Now, we've watched the Alabama game, so we can't erase it out of our mind. But what we can do is think about before the Alabama game. What if somebody would have told you Alabama's going to have 7 pass plays of 20 yards or more? You'd be like, Alabama's good, but we have a historically great defense, so that's not going to happen. So how Alabama had that many explosive plays, I like to call it, is insane. But I figured it out. It was basically, number one, the safeties. I have no idea what they were thinking. Out of place, all over the place, and the defensive line just did not get any push. That 55-yard touchdown pass that Bryce Young threw, there was 3 one-on-ones on the offensive line, and that defensive line couldn't take advantage of it. Only one of their defensive linemen was double-teamed. The rest were one-on-ones. I was like, and the crazy thing is, Alabama's offensive line struggled in the regular season, especially against Auburn. So that's the thing that really, I don't know. I couldn't figure it out, and why they were so out of place, and why there were huge, I'm talking huge chunks of the field not covered. That's why Alabama was able to run slant routes and crossing routes so effectively, because there was these huge zone chunks that weren't covered. So that was, when I went back, I realized that something was off when I watched the game. But when I actually went back and slowed things down and looked at it, I was like, holy crap. How does this happen? I mean, number one, how does this happen again, with 2 really good teams playing against each other? I didn't expect either one of them doing that. I know Alabama didn't. And number 2, Georgia has had one of the best defenses I've ever seen in my entire life. And that's saying a lot. That's why I've been hyping Georgia. If you've been watching Gold and Blue Dude since the beginning of this, you know in my first year, I was laughing my rear end off at Georgia. I was saying, you know, you guys recruit in the top 10, top 5 consistently, and yet you end up with 2 and 3 losses every year. So it's not like I'm a Georgia, you know, a hideaway Georgia fan, secret Georgia fan. I was straight up laughing at Georgia in 2019. So when I say that Georgia's defense was the best defense I've ever seen, I mean it. And that's why that SEC championship made absolutely no sense to me. Wisconsin sports fan says, GBD, can we shout out our channels? I know a lot of us have channels. Yeah, absolutely, no problem. Hold on. One of my other contacts sending me pictures of horns down as well. Yeah, that's what people don't realize. A lot of your own subscribers have their own channels, and you go check it out, and it's actually good stuff. So when somebody mentions that they have a channel, the least you can do is check it out. They're not making you hit the subscribe button or anything like that, but you know, go check it out. Go see if you like it, because you never know unless you try it. The old saying, don't knock it unless you try it. And then if you try it and you don't like it, then you can knock it. What's everybody think about the betting line? The last time I checked, which was last night, so it could have changed, but the last time I checked, hold on. I think it was Georgia by 2.5. Hold on. I think it's still, is it 2.5? Georgia 3, so it actually, wow. Did it go back up to 3? Holy crap. So I'm not going to bet that game unless it flips over in favor of Alabama. I am not going to bet the national championship. I'm not going to take Georgia and lay the points. Definitely not. I'm not picking Alabama for sure. But if that line were to flip over to favoring Alabama, then I would bet. I would take Georgia and the points. So as long as Georgia's favored, I am not betting that. And I got a message today, actually. Hold on. I got a message. So I'm a part of this Facebook group, and we did a poll at the very beginning of the season, and it was I think it was $20 to go in. And there's, let me check how many. I think there's like 25, 30 people in it. I'm trying to get that specifically right. So give me 1 second, guys. Hold on. All right, here we go. I think this is correct. Well, oh, yep, here we go. All right, so there are, let me count them real quick, guys. All right, so there are a total 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. Whoa, 28, 29. All right, so I was right. 29. So there's 29 participants in this group. All of us laid out. I could be wrong. I'm guessing 20. It was a while back. Week by week, every game, every top 25 game, and a few non-top 25 games that had a spread pick to it. How many ever weeks? 14 weeks? The championship weeks and the bowl weeks. So out of 29, right now, I'm in first place. All right? Here's the good news. There are 2 games left. I really hope I'm not jinxing myself. There are 2 games left, all right? And from what the leader said, he said that there's no possible way for me to get below second place. Okay? So that's the lowest I can get. Right now I'm in first by 1 point with 2 games to go. So the lowest I can get is second place because each game is worth 1 point. So first place, $325. Second place, $115. And third place, I believe, was $30. It might have been $50. So the group that I laid that pool in, the lowest that I can win is $115. So I'm excited about that, and that means I did pretty good this year. I went back and looked at my score predictions. I didn't do as good as I did last year. Last year, I was close to 70%. I was like 69% against the spread, which is crazy good. This year, I was closer to 60. I was like 58, 59%. That's not bad, but I'd like to be above 60%. So I had a down year this year, but in my pool, I'm in first place right now. So 2 games to go. Tonight, let me check who I picked real quick. Hold on. I know, I should have been prepared more. I know. Okay. I think I took Kansas State. What was the line? Where am I? Oh, never mind. Previous comments. I took... Right? You know, every time you look for something, that's when you can't find it. Oh, I took LSU. Uh-oh. And... Wait a minute. Kansas State was a 7-point favorite the last time I checked. That's when I took LSU. You know what? I'm still going to take LSU in the 4.5. And the national championship, that's a tough one. I wouldn't bet that in real life. Anyways, point is, 2 games left. Even if I lose both of them, I'm still getting $115, so I'm happy about that. Pretty good year in that particular pool. On Golden Blue Dude, 58, 59%. That's not bad. That's not bad. That's actually slightly better than professional bettors, but not as good as last year. So that gives me motivation going into next year to really nail these picks. And so we will do better about that next year. So I encourage y'all, I mean, there's so many Facebook groups out there. There's so many YouTube channels out there that you can talk sports with and have different bets like that. And this was an entire season bet, so it wasn't just like on one game. So it was fun to see, you know, the build, because week 5, you already know, I had a terrible week 5. I slid down to like 6th place in that. If I didn't have that bad week 5, I would actually have first place locked up right now. Like, no questions. I would have it locked up. But because of that one bad week, I could potentially end up in 2nd place. So, yeah, it was fun to see week by week everybody's position. So, y'all, I might post a link in whenever I'm done with this video and see if y'all check it out, because he wants to grow that group as well. And it's a great group. So, yeah, just keep your eyes out there. There's great groups everywhere. YouTube channels out everywhere. Especially if you love college football as much as I do. Now, that being said, after the national championship, I'm going to start transitioning. Well, not really transitioning, but adding in college basketball. Because I'm a big college basketball fan. College football first, but also college basketball. I'm going to do the same thing that I did last year. Whenever they put out the brackets, I'm going to have a live show. That was probably my biggest live show the entire year. At one point, we had over 400 people watching, which is a lot for me. So I'm definitely going to do that. I beat everybody when it came out to the brackets coming out. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to be live as they come out. You're going to see the matchups first here. And I actually filled them out, which turned out to be garbage. I mean, nothing works with... I don't know. Does anybody have a formula that works for picking winners on the brackets? Because that's the first time that I tried the don't think, just do it. So as soon as the brackets popped up, I wrote down whatever popped in my head. Trash bracket. Horrible bracket. Years before, you know, you look at it, okay, who has the better defense? What's the better... That doesn't work either. So, it seems like games, winners that are totally unpredictable happen. So I got to figure out a better formula to do my brackets, because that was trash. Straight up trash. It was probably one of my worst brackets I've ever done, to be honest with you. MSU Detroit fan says, Michigan State, just like in football, went from doubtful to top 10. Exactly. And Michigan has crashed and is currently burning, which makes it better. I wouldn't say crashed and burned. They did win the Big Ten. And I warned Michigan fans that the Georgia of the regular season was the real Georgia, and that's why I said, Michigan fans, don't be upset. Georgia did that to everybody except for Alabama, which makes that game make even less sense. So I'm not surprised with that outcome. I think Michigan had a great season. But Michigan State, definitely a surprise team. And if Kentucky was a surprise team to you, you were not listening to Golden Blue Dude, because I 100% predicted Kentucky to finish second in the SEC East. And that's exactly what happened. I didn't think Tennessee was going to be as good as they were, even though their defense not great. They had a terrific offense, though. Tennessee has a good coach. Josh Heupel has it going in the right direction immediately. They weren't elite, but they're definitely going in the right direction. So we might be looking at a, Georgia, Tennessee, Kentucky, South Carolina type of good SEC East finally, and then Florida. I don't know if Billy Napier can get them out of the gutter. They're terrible right now. But the SEC East is looking like really interesting now. Shane Beamer has South Carolina looking halfway decent. I mean, they're not elite, but they don't look like trash like they have before. Josh Heupel looking great at Tennessee. Of course, Kirby Smart has Georgia at an elite level. Mark Stoops, Kentucky, they looked really good. Now, the difference with Kentucky is they're one of those teams. They're like how West Virginia, I hate to say this, used to be, because we're not doing it right now. I'm waiting on it. But they're how West Virginia used to be, meaning they'll have one great, amazing year and then have to build up to it again. So I don't expect them to be elite again next year. I think they'll be pretty good. But I do see Kentucky falling slightly in the SEC East rankings. Could be Tennessee that jumps them. That's what I'm thinking. I think Tennessee is going to be pretty stinking good. I'll have to look at their schedules too. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Good point, Easy Money. I forgot to tell everybody. Simple, easy, fast, free. Hit the thumbs up. That's how we built the video the other day. What was it? I think it wasn't the Rose Bowl. The Fiesta Bowl. Oh, yeah. We watched the ending of the Fiesta Bowl. We started out with 9 people in here. Those 9 people hit the thumbs up. That turned into like 20 people. The rest of those hit thumbs up, and by the time the end of the game, we were up to like 90 people watching, which is not a massive live show, but for the end of a Fiesta Bowl random live show, that's pretty good. So hitting the like button really helps to build a video. So I appreciate Easy Money bringing that up. See, sometimes I forget things, and you guys bring it up, so definitely good stuff right there. Jeff Webster says, SEC West far stronger. Bama leads, but A&M is coming. Ole Miss is tough. Arkansas has improved, and Kelly will likely do well at LSU. I agree with that, except for one thing. I think Arkansas, I guess I'm not really disagreeing with you when I say this. I think Arkansas makes a move next year. I really do. People look at that record that they finished with 9-4 and like, oh, yeah, they did better. That's not bad. Go back and look at their schedule. They had the toughest schedule in the nation. 9-4 is a freaking miracle. Miracle. So I do think that Arkansas makes a move next year. Depending on what they lose and what they gain, I think they have a great coaching staff there, and they did great with a brutal schedule this year. Toughest one I looked at everybody's schedule. Toughest one I saw, 9-4. Yeah, I think Arkansas. I wouldn't be surprised if Arkansas finished second in the SEC West. And I don't trust Texas A&M either. Texas A&M was supposed to be pretty good this year. Yeah, they beat Alabama. God knows how. I don't know. But they still ended up with 4 losses. So Jimbo, I'm going to say it. Jimbo is underperforming at Texas A&M just like he did at Florida State. Yes, he won a national championship for Florida State, but with Bobby Bowden's players. And then after that, he ran Florida State into the ground. Florida State is still paying for the mistakes that Jimbo Fisher made. And the biggest mistake that he made at Florida State was the offensive line. When he left Florida State, that offensive line was straight up nonsense trash. Those players should not have been playing for Florida State. I mean, I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings, but that offensive line, they should not have been wearing Florida State uniforms. More like, I don't know, UTSA, Marshall, group of 5 jerseys if they wanted to start. They should not have been starting at Florida State, and they're still trying to rebuild from that. I don't know if they ever will. They have the brand. They got that going for them. It's like they're not a no name coming out of nowhere. So we'll see. We'll see. I don't know, but Jimbo, he's from West Virginia, but as a coach, I don't think he's very good. I really don't. I do not think that Jimbo Fisher is very good. What he's done, he is smart. I will say this. Jimbo Fisher is smart. It's because he's gotten these jobs at high-profile programs that has already had elite talent and is already recruiting at an elite level, so he can do just enough to get by. You look at him at Florida State. Right out of the gate, yes, a national championship. Bobby Bowden's players. What does he do after that? Basically nothing. Think about this. Before Jimbo Fisher, how many ACC titles did Florida State win? Like 22, 21, 20, something like that? After Jimbo, you had the national championship year, and that was it. Then Clemson took over. Yeah, think about that. All right. Now let's go to Texas A&M. He hasn't ran it into the ground, but he hasn't done great either. Every year, I think that Jimbo Fisher is overrated. Texas A&M is overrated, and it happens every single year. Now, they had a decent year last year. I think they ended up with 1 or 2 losses. Other than that, that's his best year. And he doesn't have an SEC West Division title. He sure as hell doesn't have an SEC championship. No playoff berth. No national championship at Texas A&M. Nothing. So I don't understand what people see in Jimbo. I really don't. Other than he does just enough to, he's doing all right. We'll see what happens next year. Texas A&M is recruiting at a high level. Something like that. I don't buy into that. Jeff Webster says A&M put all their eggs into the beat Bama basket. Exactly. It made no I don't know. I didn't understand how Texas A&M beat Alabama and then go on to have an 8-4 season. That's insane. That is insane. But I mean, Florida came within 2 points. LSU came within a Hail Mary. Auburn overtime. So there were some close calls with Alabama. Alabama was not an elite team in the regular season. And I get that Alabama fans are like, you keep saying that over and over, and we keep proving you wrong. And I get that, but I'm trying to make you look at it through my eyes. I'm watching college football, right? And I'm seeing Alabama, number 1, get beat by Texas A&M, struggle against Arkansas, struggle against LSU, struggle against Florida, struggle against Auburn. What am I supposed to think by the SEC championship? What am I supposed to think? And on the flip side, Georgia dominate. Same four common opponents too. Arkansas, Florida, Tennessee, and Auburn. Georgia dominated all 4, and Alabama survived, and they lost to Texas A&M. So that's what every year it's a different team. Every year I'm down on a different team and something doesn't make sense. And for that year, that fan base is like, oh, Golden Blue Dude, you're, in 2019, Golden Blue Dude, you're just a Georgia hater. This year, Golden Blue Dude, you're just an Alabama hater. Last year, Golden Blue Dude, you're just a Clemson hater. So it's next year I'm going to be down on another team and I'll be that team's hater, whatever happens type of thing. But I'm really not a hater. I just look at things and I'm like, that it doesn't make any sense. You see a team struggle, and you see the other team dominate, and all of a sudden, roles completely reversed. I don't know. It was weird, to say the least. All right. The Mountaineer Effect. Oh, by the way, if you're a West Virginia subscriber, you should go check out the Mountaineer Effect. Well, any subscriber, really, to show support. I like his channel. Utah is a team everybody needs to look out for, I think. young, explosive. If they can stay healthy and not lose any silly games, I think they will be right back up there next year. I agree with that, but I thought the same thing with Utah last year. I don't think Utah handles expectations very well. I'm just going to be honest with you. Because the expectations for Utah this year, not low, but not high. And what did they do? They exceeded expectations. Utah is good at exceeding expectations, but they're not good at meeting high expectations. So I don't know what to think about Utah. They don't recruit at a high level consistently. Every once in a while they'll crack the top 30, top 25, kind of like a West Virginia. So I mean, they had a great year this year, but I have to see who they lose and what their schedule looks like. And then there's the pressure factor. Can they handle the pressure? I don't know. The last time they had, it wasn't just last year. What was it? 2019, they had really high expectations and they fell flat. So, yeah, we'll see. I think as long as it's not like a thing, out in the public, out in the sports world, like ESPN, YouTube, all that stuff, and they don't hear it, yeah. But as soon as they hear that they have expectations, they're going to fall flat. That's just my opinion. All right. Florida plays Utah the first game in 2022. Where is that going to be played at? Is that a home and home or... Well, let me check real quick, guys. I think... Okay, so that's... Wait. At Utah. Okay. Yeah, Utah should win that one. Easy, to be honest with you. I mean, I like Billy Napier, but he inherited a train wreck. There's no way that he can take Florida into Utah, especially as good as Utah is right now, and beat them. That would surprise me. But we'll see what the offseason brings. T&D says, A&M will go from beating Alabama this past year to losing to Sam Houston State next year. I would say that's exaggerating, but we did see Florida State lose to Jacksonville State this year, so, anything's possible. But Florida State is historically bad. If you would have told me 10 years ago, a decade ago, how bad Florida State is right now, and that it was going to happen, I would have laughed at you. But it's the truth. Florida State is complete garbage right now. The state of Utah finally decided to take football seriously. Well, I mean, BYU, trust me, I have a lot of interactions with BYU fans, and they're pretty serious. Especially when BYU plays Utah. That's a bigger rivalry than people realize. I just think Utah needs to recruit at a higher level somehow, and they actually have a small stadium, which I know a lot of Pac-12 teams. I mean, y'all need to go look at that sometime. Washington State, Oregon State, like 30, 40,000 seat stadium. Utah is in the 50s. They could do better than that. Utah has a really faithful fan base. I think if they expanded to 70, 75,000, they would fill it easy, to be honest with you. So I have no idea why they're sitting in a 55,000 seat stadium for Utah. That doesn't make any sense to me at all. That actually surprised me when I looked that up. Now, Oregon State, Washington State, no, that doesn't surprise me. They're out in the middle of nowhere. But Utah, they have a good fan base, so they need a bigger stadium for sure. So I think West Virginia does too, to be honest with you. I think we need to expand to, 70,000. And it wouldn't take all that much. Actually, and Pete did a video about Clemson expanding. What they're doing is, man, it looks really good too. What they're doing, I think it's on the east end zone. They're bringing the stand. There's a hill on the east side of the end zone that goes from corner to corner. They're extending the stands into the hill, but not taking away the hill. And they're making the scoreboard go over. So they'll be running out under the scoreboard with the stands around. So it's going to be, man, that's going to be really, really nice. I had no idea Clemson was doing that. So whenever Pete made a video about it the other day, that actually surprised me. I think that's a good move on Clemson. I think they can definitely still pack that out because right now they're over I think over 85,000. That might push them towards 90,000. It's going to be one of the bigger stadiums in the nation. And it's been a while since I've gone to a Clemson game. The last time I went to a Clemson game, let's see, at Clemson, man, that's got to be at least 10 years ago, something like that. I know I went there in 20 or in it was either 97 or 98 when Georgia Tech beat them in Death Valley, and then I saw them against Louisville. So it wasn't 10. That was more like 7 or 8 years ago. That was a really good game too. I remember that. But I try to go to at least 1 or 2 West Virginia games. I only got to go to 1 this past year. I wanted to go to Texas, but it didn't happen. All right. Anyways, I distract myself too easy. MSU Detroit fan says, odd, Utah Stadium hosted an Olympics once. That is odd. It doesn't, I mean, I know that the LA Coliseum, a.k.a. the home of the Trojans, I knew that hosted an Olympics. I did not know that. That's actually pretty cool. That's not a big stadium either, so yeah, that's that's surprising. Christopher McDavitt says, were you at the 2008 Clemson Georgia Tech game? I was there. No. I wasn't at that game. I was at it was either 97 or 98, whichever one of those years it was in Clemson. That was the one that I went to, and I think they won on like a last second field goal or something. It was something kind of dramatic. So that was either 97, 98, and then I went to the Louisville game. That was a good game right there. Trey BTV says, I was at the Texas game in Morgantown this year. I was supposed to be there, but it actually happened during Thanksgiving, and I had forgotten that we planned Disney for Thanksgiving. So, yeah, that was a big family thing, which we ended up getting COVID, but we still had fun. Still didn't quit with the videos. Even when I had COVID, I was putting out videos every single day. Salt Lake City, 2002 Winter Olympics, where else could it be? Yep, makes sense, but I just didn't know that. I really didn't. I don't know. I knew it was in Utah. I knew it was in Salt Lake City, but I didn't know it was at their stadium. So I'm putting the pieces together, and now it's starting to make sense. All right, I got you. Sam Houston is still FCS for now until they join Conference USA. Yeah, I wonder when that's going to happen. Is it going to be 24, 25? Can they do it sooner? I don't know. And what about Deion Sanders at Jackson State? My gosh, getting the number one overall recruit. And I know it was based a lot on the NIL deal, but still, that was kept under wraps very, very well. Tyler Two Chains says, I love it. I'm guessing I love it in Utah. Yeah. I'm guessing that's what you're saying. I've never been to Utah. The closest I've been to Utah was Colorado. So I've been close, but not to Utah. Anyways, I'm going to jump off here, guys. Random show, I know, but I wanted to figure some stuff out for Patreon. I think we have some solid ideas. Like I said at the beginning of the video, taking a little bit from other channels, but not straight up, copying them, because you don't want to do that. You want to be your own identity. So we'll do some, next football season, we'll do some live game watches. Probably won't be an every week thing, but maybe a once or twice a month, something like that. So we'll do game watches for Patreons only. We'll keep the contest going for Patreons only. We'll do, me and Joey are setting up a hangout for Patreons and myself. So in that room, only Patreon members and me will be in the room, but it'll be like you're watching me, but I'll actually be able to see you as well, and we'll actually be able to have interactions. Talk about, your team, talk about video ideas, basically whatever you want to talk about. And this might be in the future. We also want to get some type of Patreon game room where you can now it'd be online, of course, like maybe a poker room, something like that. There's a bunch of online games that you can do with other people. So that's in the works. We'll try to figure that out. Tyler Two Chains says, paint your room West Virginia colors. Well, I might do I might do the wall. I might do the wall. But me and Joey, what we're gonna do, you know what? I'm just gonna show y'all real quick. What we're gonna do is that right there. Shelves are gonna come out and they're gonna curve. And then same thing for that side. Shelves are gonna come out and curve out. So it's gonna have let me get this set back up. It's gonna have actual dimension. So I might paint the wall directly behind me blue and gold, but the shelving is going to curve out, and that's where I'm going to have my mini helmets, because that is a must, and I'm really looking forward to that. Alright guys, I'm done taking up y'all's time. I appreciate y'all stopping by for this random live show. Good advice, good ideas from you guys. Sports talk as usual. I'm going to jump out of here and make sure the kids are still getting along, and probably need to get some other stuff done before my wife gets home. Don't want the house to be a wreck when she gets home. Yeah, I think that's it. Alright guys.